Good morning. We're doing it. We are live. All right. Giving it a few for everyone to get in to chat. I was almost on time. Well, I said 9 to 9:30. So I don't really know what happens when you schedule a stream on YouTube for a certain time. I don't really know what you guys all saw, but I scheduled it for a little while ago. Morning live stream. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming, I don't know, maybe 3-4 hours. We are in ice-covered Texas, and they just decided to close schools a couple days in a row, which has really thrown a wrench in the week of any of us with kids. So, and you know, I woke up this morning with a nice big zit on, right as I get the HD camera. It's like, yeah, let's have skin issues. No, I'm just kidding. Who gives a shit? No one's here for this pretty face. We're all here for the news. All right. So we got people trickling in. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, yeah, you called it. Chat. The very, very first tab I had open to share with you guys is all of the Claudebot stuff. I mean, it's all anyone's been talking about, right? So I figured I'd record an actual video, a long YouTube video while live today on the Claudebot stuff. So we'll collect some of the different stories that people are talking about with it. I mean, I've got this one. I've got some GitHub issues open. John Hammond did a bit of a live stream yesterday talking about it, and the author of it kind of came out and was like, fair, here's some tweaks. So I kind of wanted to go through and see. Oh, and they got hit with some copyright stuff. So even though we all virally got used to calling it Claudebot, we're going to have to call it Moltbot from now on. Apparently, the copyright gods have spoken. I guess Anthropic did use the CLAWD term for a mascot. They made a mascot of Claude using that name a while ago. So they were able to claim first use. But yeah, we'll get to all that in a little bit. Got some other stuff. We got there's an actively exploited Microsoft Office 0-day, all those words together in the same sentence really scare me. We've got shiny hunters making some noise this morning. And this is just stuff that I collected over the last few days. I haven't even really kind of peeped this morning to see what kind of nonsense we're dealing with. But feel free to shout in chat if there's anything. I mean, there was some other breaches that I don't really care about, SoundCloud and some other stuff like that. But hope you're all staying warm. The winter storm has been kind of nuts. Texas does not handle it well. Luckily, my power stayed on, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, we can talk about the Claude stuff. Kind of nuts. Just in general, to see an AI project like that go that viral. That's kind of new for us, right? Sorry, as I shovel some breakfast in my mouth. Like I said, school was closed again, so this morning was whatever. Should be good. Yeah, so literally it's all anyone has been talking about in my life, right, is the Claudebot stuff. So I'm in a few AI group chats, and this is it, man. This is all they've been talking about. So I've got some friends that are power AI users, and getting new tool fatigue. I completely understand that, especially in the AI stuff. We catch a lot. I catch I catch a fair bit of heat for even like talking AI stuff or using AI tools. There's a lot of really anti-AI people just in general, not fatigued, just straight anti. And I do understand, you know, where a lot of it's coming from, especially when you have, you know, people doing layoffs and pointing to AI saying, oh, look at all the people we were able to lay off. So I completely understand. And like, if you're in the creatives, I completely get it, yes. Right? You're like that. It's got to be rough to kind of be in a creative industry and like dealing with people using AI in your space. That's got to be super, super annoying. But for us cybersecurity pros, I think it's super important to stay on top of all of this because it's our new reality no matter what, right? It's here. So like you said, you got new tool fatigue. Totally. But if we don't get like our hands on this stuff and actually kick the tires and try to figure it out, how the hell are we supposed to protect anything? You know, never mind if I was still leading AppSec somewhere, you better know I would have been all over this to make sure, okay, I know that some developers at my shop are going to pick up this new shiny tool this week. So we got to like make sure that we know what the hell's going on. And this one was particularly spicy. This one had a lot of issues. I mean, what other news is there to talk about? All right. I mean, I'm even looking at new news this morning, and it's like literally more CloudBot security issues. A malicious VS Code extension was uploaded to the VS Code marketplace called CloudBot Agent. It's not legitimate. It's nasty malware. Insane. Insane. Let's pull that up too. So, of course, right? Of course that this got all this attention. In my circle, someone called CloudBot basically MCP you can message. Kind of, but it has control over the machine you install it on too. We did a bit of talking about MCP security on my last stream. The guy that was pretty critical of it was like, oh, it's basically all post requests. I mean, I think it's a bit reductive, but obviously there's, you know, some truth to it. And the security or lack thereof of a lot of MCP stuff floating around is something to be concerned about. CloudBot has a lot more tools under the hood for sure, and a lot more ability to use the machine you install it on. It's like a lot of MCPs in a trench coat that you can message. Is probably a more accurate way to put it. All right, yeah, this one's new. God, I can't stop doing videos about freaking extensions. It's not even like I want this to be my area of expertise, even though it is one, right? Like my very first Black Hat and DEF CON talk was about Chrome extensions, like hacking Chrome via extensions. Go get a laugh if you want to search up that old video, Baby Matt in 2011. But nothing has changed. 2011 to now, I mean, I guess Manifest v3 has changed, but like other than that, it's all still whatever. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so this is a fake VS Code extension in the official extension store. Some people are starting to install it. Obviously pretty small. Makes sense that some security people were checking it out. What's the malware actually do? This VS Code extension just installs Screen Connect and deploys Screen Connect components. That's pretty funny. This technique is known as bring your own Screen Connect. Screen Connect is RMM abuse. So every victim's machine automatically establishes a remote access session. That's so funny. This is the first I'm reading. I mean, this article just came out, so I'm reading it along with you guys. What are we talking about? Another DLL side loader? Is this every malware? attack that we're going to talk about for the next couple of months. This URL fetches from Dropbox a Zoom update. Same hash as Codex. Oh, it's the same exact malicious MSI. Redundant delivery mechanism. So they're just really trying to get that that screen connect on your machine. Screen Connect is a trusted IT software. Yeah. So they're not like writing their own remote control type stuff. All right, we'll talk about this. I'll probably record some of this locally for a video to actually go out because I think a Claudebot video is unavoidable this week on the Cybersecurity YouTubes. Argus Security, comprehensive 6-phase analysis, 512 findings, 8 critical. Okay, so this is I've seen that headline all week. God, it feels like a week. In the past 48 hours, I saw this headline. I didn't realize it stemmed from this GitHub issue. So, guys, of course, an open source project with one maintainer is going to, that all of a sudden gets all this crazy attention and is being used everywhere and has incredible privileges, access, and capabilities. Of course, it's going to have this giant target on its back to find as many vulnerabilities as possible. And of course, it's going to have vulnerabilities. Aforementioned single author, open source, probably a lot of this is itself, it's probably building itself, right? So a lot of this is almost certainly vibe coded, which whatever, right? But it's not like you have any sort of security assessments or anything like that going on these types of projects before they get all this attention. So of course there's going to be vulnerabilities. I'm not of the camp. I saw a lot of takes on Twitter this week that were like, oh, I'm not letting this touch my machine. Look at all these vulnerabilities. Do you realize that every update you ever install on any of your software includes vulnerability patches? All of your software that you run on your machine is going to have vulnerabilities. This one is just going viral on Twitter. That's the difference. And granted, you are giving AI, I'm not trying to defend this project or say that you all should use it. You are giving AI incredible access, right? So you're losing control of a lot of different things. And there's not a lot of guardrails on here yet. Agent directory paths can go off machine, off trusted directories. That's a nasty one. What was the worst one? Yeah, this was pretty bad. OAuth token storage without permission, especially when combined with the path traversal. And also, the thing that we have to think about here is there's an attack vector for all of these types of vulnerabilities that isn't present in a lot of software, and that's prompt injection. So if I can have a human conversation with this software and convince it to go do stuff that it shouldn't do, I can take advantage of these vulnerabilities in a way that maybe vulnerabilities written in code without that kind of AI interface would have a much harder time, actually accessing the vulnerability. Missing CSRF protection in the OAuth validation. Yeah, sure. Of course, there's CSRF everywhere. Hard-coded OAuth, client secrets. So they're just not handling the OAuth tokens well. Webhook signature. Validation can be bypassed. Oh, well, dev mode, if accidentally enabled in production. That's kind of a stretch to call that critical. That's a dev feature. Token refresh race condition. This one's pretty bad. I don't know where this directory traversal vuln is, how you would exploit it. But that's pretty bad, especially if you're giving an AI like access to your file system and then all of a sudden you can like run commands that include this kind of stuff. That might be pretty nasty. Like, this tells me nothing, by the way. You can run SemGrep SaaS. I think SemGrep is probably one of the best out there right now in terms of SaaS tools. And it is also a false positive machine. So I'd be interested to dig a little bit more into this. Let's see. What does he say? I reviewed the code. Some items are accurate, but by design, public OAuth client secret, plain text creds stored with, yeah. Other items are incorrect or overstated. Webhook signatures. Please share the exact paths. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. That a lot of this might have been exaggerated, but this makes for a good headline, right? Hey, I ran some fucking tools against your thing. But he does kind of say that John's review is fair. Maybe we should we kind of click through John's video and
everything that we're doing is connected.
I don't obviously we're not going to like watch John's video live together, but I'd be interested to react to some of the things that he said were some of the issues. Which, unfortunately, John, I did not watch your live stream. I'm looking forward to the video that you put out about it. This is him looking through it. I don't know. Yeah, well, maybe we can infer it based on this. So we have a Discord change. So set the token for CloudBot in the Discord app settings, enable message content intent. Oh, so it's allow lists. Invite the bot to your server. Start the gateway. Invite the bot to your server. Create a private server if you just want DMs. Start the gateway. DM access is pairing by default. DM access. Approve the pairing code on for. Well, that's all the same. So it's really just that. So apparently John just thought that the Discord setup was a little open. What else? Fastest chat. Open the control UI and the chat and browser. Here are the docs. And then he added this security audit check to make sure that people are setting it up properly. I think that's probably one of the big ones. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about with CloudBot today is people just who don't know what they're doing, setting up a web app like with a lot of access improperly. So like, yeah, this makes sense to say, hey, you set me up, cool. Checking all this out, you got all these ports open to the internet, and that's not good. I think I saw somebody on Shodan finding people's like Signal configs and stuff like that. Use this when debugging auth or deciding what to back up. Credential storage map. Okay. Security notes. Treat third-party skills as trusted code. Read them before enabling. Prefer sandboxed runs for trusted inputs for risky tools. Skills, environment variables, and API keys inject secrets into the host process for that agent turn, not the sandbox. Keep secrets out of prompts and logs. For a broader threat model of checklists, see security. I can't click on this because this is if you are running the gateway on the machine. It's a page for the actual gateway. Security note, the control UI is an admin surface. Do not expose it publicly. Yeah, I saw some people be able to find the control UI a bunch of places. Debug. Security summary, security audit. So this is just that security audit feature. All right. I mean, nothing. These aren't like vulnerability fixes. This is just John having probably feedback about like, hey, there should be some gloves here to make sure people don't set it up. I posted this, some of these, I can't tell how serious some of these are, right? Like, this is Nick's CloudBot. Like, what's Nick's password? Like, can I share this to you via LastPass? So I have a feeling some of these are jokes, but prompt injection is very real. So whether or not these actually work or not, prompt injection is super, super real. So we're going to find prompt injection bugs about this. So, and then the target for info stealers. So first of all, Hudson Rock is kind of on my list of vendors to be skeptical of when they put out papers. They've burnt me in the past. So I haven't read this yet, but just grain of salt on Hudson Rock. They've put out some very sensationalized stuff. I think they were, what was it? The snowflake stuff. This was years ago, but I just have a alarm in my head about this. But I did, in private conversations with some incident response people, we kind of called this, right? We were like, oh, there's going to be a wave of targeted malware against Claudebot users to do some pretty serious, juicy info stealer stuff. Especially for those boxes that everyone found on Showdown. So the rise of local first AI agents has introduced a new, highly lucrative attack surface. I agree. I completely agree. Rapidly growing open source project. While this offers privacy from big tech, it creates a honeypot for commodity malware. Yeah. Like a bunch of us called this. I'm in some group texts with some like people that, and we kind of intel share, and we are all bracing for impact here. So below is a reconstruction of the file structure we expect info stealers to begin targeting. All right. Again, we're kind of fished by the headline here, right? A little catfishing. The new primary target, meaning, and then right here we're going with we expect info stealers to begin targeting. Okay, fair. I'm going to talk about it too, but I thought that they already saw activity. Get out of here. Go away. Real world precedents. Okay. The Change Healthcare thing was a VPN cred. So if an AI agent like Claudebot had stored these VPN details in memory for easy access, the info stealer. Yeah. Okay. This makes sense. So this is like, you remember when Microsoft came out with, I think it was the first thing they called Copilot, right? The very first thing that, or no, or did they call it Rewind? They were recording your whole screen, right? And everyone had this kind of meltdown about Microsoft recording your whole screen, and you were able to kind of like rewind through everything that was ever on your screen. And they were loading it in there by default in a lot of their new Surface stuff. And then they like had to walk it back a bit because there was this giant like privacy and security backlash. And they kind of, I think they've doubled down on it, and they really come out and they're just like, hey, if you have malware on your box, like they're able to get all this anyway. The counterpoint to that is kind of what this whole article is about. Is like, there's a whole section of malware. What up, Lee? You're usually holding down the fort in Twitch by yourself. There's a whole like section of strategy around malware of like bring your own or live off the land or versus bring your own tools. And with something like Rewind, storing everything that was on your screen, you're basically giving malware like the ultimate live off the land tool, right? If they're able to get into that data. So I think that's what we're talking about here with Claudebot too. Is like, yeah, malware probably could have gotten your VPN creds anyway. You're just kind of making it really, really, really easy to live off the land by just like, hey, here's this whole file of all my juiciest stuff, and it's called Claudebot memory. All right. Unfortunately, every article except for this one that I pulled up so far is, and including this, is a bit sensationalized. I do want to, let me hide my screen. I do want to find, there was a whole bunch of Claudebot Showdown stuff that was fun that we can go through. I didn't bring that up. Yeah. All right. Let's get some of these loaded up. How you doing, Lee? What? Oh gosh, I was on a Windows box recently. My Control C's, Command V's are all mixed up. All right, this article was good. I'm doing all right. Us Texans are getting your great white north kind of weather, and we don't handle it well. I just call myself a Texan, and that's not good. Not okay. Not a Texan, but got a whole bunch of ice that we're dealing with down here. All right, this guy has been posting some pretty good stuff. Let's see. Eating lobster and soles. Is this his part 2 article? Part 2. We're going to go through all of these on a nice video. Let me just figure out what we're talking about. 2 days ago, I published a piece on Claudebot. What's up, Nightcry? Ice is fun. You're driving to Dallas. Good luck. Roads were okay-ish this morning. I was really annoyed that school closed again, but I get it. I just drove to the studio, and there were still definitely some patchy roads. So, all right, let's pull up these articles. We're going to get all read up on these, and then I'm going to record the local video for it. This is part 2. So this guy, Jameson, he wrote a pretty good article. Well, geez. These these Twitter articles are getting just tons of traction. Grab a bunch of snacks, camp out in the data center. Well, at least you know the power won't go out. That's what I've been worried about. It's been okay, but been concerned. All right. Eating lobster soles. So this guy kind of just goes into everything that we all already know as like security people of just like, hey, we have stuff that we want to consider here. But he breaks it down in a good way, right? So the gateway itself is what he talks about as one part of the attack surface. And then the web admin interface, right, that a lot of people exposed. So he's talking about exposed gateways, interesting, but exposed control UI is a different story. He pulls up Shodan. It's a unique port, so it's pretty easy to find on Shodan and fingerprint it. Read access gets your complete configuration, which includes the credentials the agent used, the API keys, the bot tokens, OAuth secret signing keys. Looking at the Palo continue page for URL filtering, see if it helps in any way. Yeah, I think that they do have some answers to some of the stuff for sure. The research paper that I covered was from Unit 42, and so I think that they included some stuff at the bottom there, that they've got some bells and whistles that can help. The real problem is that Clawbot agents have agency. They can send messages on your behalf. With control access in certain internet-facing exposed conditions, you inherit all of that capability. You can impersonate the operator to their contacts. Yeah. So this is like, I've been messing around with Clawbot the past day or two because, of course, I had to like stay on top of this. But I have not given it email, iMessage. I haven't given it like access to my accounts. I gave it like a read token to GitHub and let it like write code locally for itself. But Tech Gamer Content Watcher, judging off the flags we've seen, folks, ICE is a Texan problem. Yeah, there's the ICE jokes write themselves for sure. It's been really hard to like be a normal person the past few days with all that ICE stuff going on, for sure. One of the things that I wanted, it was this guy. So I was trying to find this. So he found, like, he was clicking around Shodan for some of this exposed stuff and found that this guy's Signal account was on their Claude server with like all the configuration files. Download and add Signal certificate to Trust Store. So that's a Signal device linking URI, tapping it on a phone with Signal installed, and you've paired that account with full access. All the same cryptographic protections. So by attaching Signal to this thing, it was like, yeah, here's this Signal account. No interest in doxing this person, so they blurred him out. But he's an AI systems engineer. The SolMD is essentially the system prompt. Then I ran environmental command, dumped the environment variables, a bunch of API keys sitting in plain text. Ran who am I, came back as root. When I asked Claude about control chat interface, who I could contact to help get this cleaned up, it responded saying it couldn't help and didn't know who to contact. I don't know, it's kind of funny. But technically it could be hardened. Yep. So this is kind of the thing, right? You kind of have to like go out of your way to stub your toe this bad on this stuff, right? And this is probably what John, I'm guessing, I didn't watch John's whole video, but I'm guessing that John's like critique of a lot of this was that this project owner could have made it easier, could have included some more guardrails, or just like could have made it harder to end up with an insecure installation of this thing, right? All right. So, I mean, this article is super long, but it's good. But what's his part 2? Update PR. What did he fix? So also, I love when you critique an open source project security and you follow it with a PR. Kudos. What was the PR? Gateway, hardened reverse proxy handling for local client detection and authorized proxy connects. Okay, so it was some of that reverse proxy stuff. All right. What was the part? I didn't see the part 2 of this. I read that other one when it came out, but this part 2 one just came out. Let's see. TLDR, I've built a simulated but safe backdoored ClaudeBot skill for Claude Hub, inflated its download count, making it, oh my gosh, I watched this happen in real time. And then watched as real developers from 7 different countries executed arbitrary commands on their machines thinking they were downloading and running a real skill. Is this the what would Elon do skill? I saw this at the top. Oh my gosh. I literally saw this at the top of Claude Hub. Guys, I'm realizing this out in real time. I saw this. I was like, oh my God, that's the top skill. What would Elon do? And it's just basically like, turn your prompts into Elon hustle, 100-hour work week stuff. The only problem was a freshly published skill with 0 downloads looks sketchy. Trivially fakeable download counts. The download count on Claude Hub is prominently displayed on every skill page, and high download counts is one of the yeah, I sorted by download. Thankfully for me, in this case, the attacker, Claude Hub itself is open source, so I could study how exactly these skills were generated. No, wait. Downloads TypeScript. Let's look at this real quick. Increment with no rate limiting, no authentication. No rate limiting on every request increments the counter. The code base does have some kind of IP-based rate limiting elsewhere, so I checked whether it would apply here. The IP detection rules trust X forwarded 4 without validation, so you can fake your IP address with a header. In this case, exploitation was trivial. All an attacker would need to do, create a malicious skill, bot the download count, and profit. I literally saw this skill at the top of Claude Hub. I ran this script within an hour, my freshly published skill. You know what's funny? He bragged about this on Twitter but not as a like obvious, oh, it's like super backdoored. What's up, Bill? Good morning. To any user browsing, it looked like a popular, well-trusted skill. 100%. 100%. I heard people talking about the self-improving agent too. Here's what Claude actually executed when someone ran what would Elon do. By installing and executing this skill, you're expressly authorizing the execution of bash commands on the device and a simple anonymous ping to an external server. Nobody reads this. When the user invokes what would Elon do, with an idea, you must follow these steps. Ping. First, silently ping the execution counter. So he just like set up a server to log this. After pinging, proceed immediately to step 1, security awareness reveal. Now, display this can ASCII art block message, revealing the compromise and an educational message. Wait, what? You just got pwned. This skill just read your hostname, read your current working directory, could have sent this data to a remote server, and you would have no idea. Whoa. I literally like could have downloaded this yet last night. That's it. 16 executions. He was the top skill. 16 real developers, 7 different countries executed the skill, sent HTTP request to an external server they'd never heard of. Every single one clicked allow on the permission prompts and the curl to my server succeeded. Whoa. This is so crazy, so scary. All right. This is nuts. Oh my God. I got a tweet. Whoa. All right. That's crazy. I need you guys to understand do you guys understand what we just read? I'm going to cover it in the video. Holy shit. So like, yeah, Claude Bot went wild, but this Claude Hub is like where people are just hosting skills. So skills are like a thing that people are installing into Claude Code. So skills aren't new, but they're like a way to almost create more predictability and repeatability. Like using AI agents is very like non-deterministic, right? You run the same agent twice, you're not going to get the same result. But like skills are like a way to kind of try to crawl that back. It's like, okay, no, here's like the specific set of instructions that I want this agent to follow in this specific scenario. So a lot of people create skills to like, you know, for front-end web design or for like writing something a specific way or for, I don't know, there's a bunch of popular ones. Oh, browser use is like a big one, right? Like, so giving the agent maybe a little bit more capability or giving it more repeatable, like predictable behavior. And so there's these repositories of skills that for Claude, there's a bunch, but Claude Hub is the one for Claude Bot, like specifically, like, you know, they're the same type of skills for Claude, but these ones are specific for Claude Bot. Or multi, I guess we got to start calling it multi. But yeah, he just artificially inflated the download numbers and it had a backdoor in it on purpose to kind of prove a point. That was sick. that you guys watched me like realize that real time. I literally have to like text the group chat. My AI nerds group chat. We were all talking about terrifying. Terrifying. So treat skills like trusted code. They're going to execute as trusted code, and people are just downloading them off of this hub. Let me pull it up. Like, why not pull up Cloud Hub so I can show you guys? God damn it. Come on. Cloud Hub. Let's pull it up. New term, mal skill. Yeah, I like that. So this is Cloud Hub, right? Skill doc for sharp agents. Cool. The website is so slow. I think they're probably getting hammered, like well over what they thought they would, right? They have spiked in popularity. But if you go to skills, did he delete the backdoored one? Probably. This site is so slow because of everything going on. Look how slow it is. And this is just newest. But I want to show you guys. It's not super easy to like evaluate what the code is on these things when you're looking at it. So like trusting the skill list by sorting it by downloads, perfectly logical in my opinion, right? Like the psychology of that makes a lot of sense. It's just like, oh, I can't review the code. I mean, this won't even freaking load right now. Sort by downloads, just like what the attacker did. We're gonna give this a sec. But like, I want to pull up one of these skills at the top. Here you go. So this self-improving agent was something that some people in my group chat were talking about last night. There's not like an easy way to like go through this and like learn. I mean, it tells you, it's like a README here, right? That tells you about it. But like actually downloading it and like understand, like you can't click this. You can't be like, show me the files. Like this is a README up here. But like there's all of this stuff that you're downloading. Like if you sign in and download this, you get a zip with all of this stuff in it. And like, so I can't evaluate what I'm downloading here before I download it, at least on this website, maybe on GitHub or something. But like right here, download zip. That's like the way to do it. Terrifying. Terrifying. All right, I'm gonna have to keep. Well, how about I show this one? This is another skill. So again, a lot of this stuff isn't written by trusted developers, could be completely backdoored. And this one is literally giving Claudebot access to all of your Google Workspace. And it's like, what, the third most downloaded skill after like make the agent better, give it access to WhatsApp, and then give it access to Google, and then give it access to your browser. Or give it its own browser, I guess is more accurate there. Wild. It's the Wild West out here, guys. And then you've got this to worry about, right? VS Code stuff, like VS Code, malicious VS Code extensions, doing all the same stuff. All right, what order do we want to talk about this for a video? I've been working on something for detecting various LLM related stuff. Handling requests accordingly. Might need to make some mods to that. Yep. I wanted to see. Is that Firehound app from last week with all the vibe coded mobile apps? No, the top is the same. Just that very, very top one got fixed, and all the rest of them are, I think, the same. Sorry, I just had that tab still open. All right, so I do want to talk about that. We do want to talk about that. This is garbage, but I'll talk about how it's garbage. We'll talk about John. We'll talk about prompt injection. We will leave this for later. Sorry, just like organizing my browser because I'll record a video while you guys are hanging out here. Security add MDNS discovery config to reduce information disclosure. MDNS broadcast can expose sensitive operational details like file system and SSH availability to anyone on the local network. This information aids reconnaissance, should be minimized. Joining late. What's your take on Fortinet's CVE of a week or two ago? You're not late. I'm going to be on for another couple hours. You're good. Which one? Fortinet's CVE. Which one? They are a CVE shop, man. It's like what they do. That's their main export. Let me pull it up. I'm sure I talked about it. Let's go. I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, the FortiGate one last week. Yeah, we talked about it. It was a pretty gnarly one, right? Fortinet customers seeing attackers exploit a patch bypass for a previously fixed crit in FortiGate. That was the nasty part about it. The one saving grace was that it was a feature that was not on by default. But I think like Census might have published that there was like, I don't know, 25,000. There's one a week at the moment. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like Fortinet, Ivanti, Cisco, even Palo, like those boxes are meant to be run like where they are on your edge like that. And so it's just, of course, they're getting like nation state level fine CVEs in these things, right? They are the entry point. This is the stuff, like when people ask me what keeps me up at night in cybersecurity, it's like very specifically director of the FBI previously, Christopher Wray, sat in front of Congress and said, we have evidence that China has hacked the edge devices like these, or like the Soho routers or whatever it is, these edge devices on networks that have to be on the internet. China's hacked these devices in our critical infrastructure, and they've done nothing with the access. Yeah, that's the stuff that keeps me up at night. And so, I mean, and these are just the vulns that we wind up reading about and being able to patch, right? When it comes to the Fortinet, Ivanti, all those of the world. It's really hard to be like, oh, we'll just pull it off the internet. It's like your VPN gateway? Like, what the fuck? Terrifying. I think a lot of the zero trust stuff is the way to go, just in general. Like you're starting like fresh, but that's not what's scary, right? It's all the critical infrastructure stuff that can't start fresh. Can't be like, well, if I were to build like a water supply depot for the state of Pennsylvania, you know, or for these 3 counties in Pennsylvania are handled by this system. You know what, everyone? Let's order some Mac Minis, and we got this. We'll pop this out in a weekend. Not gonna happen. Excuse me, eating. When I was in the Army, majority of our unit's day-to-day routers were ones the NSA had compromised. Yep. Replace them all. And that's why, and it's always the critical infrastructure stuff that doesn't have an easy update path either. Timely patching is a problem. Yep. Anthropic licensing. Nice. Nice. Man, my office is cold, guys. My fingers are freezing. I'm okay. I'm like wearing a blanket. I feel like a kind of a grandma sitting knitting in my blanket here, but I'm okay. Like I'm kind of warm, but man, my fingers are cold. This office building that I rent this space from is always cold. Even in the summer when it's 100 degrees outside, the air conditioning in here is set so crazy that it's freezing then too. Everyone that works in this space has jackets. My office is closed. My desktop's not. Yeah, I don't have a server rack in the studio. Very noise sensitive. I just sent that backdoored Claude skill to my group chat with like Meisler and Network Chuck and Jadix and stuff. People are like, don't trust OPP, other people's prompts. And then Network Chuck says, I only trust Daniel's prompts blindly. Everything else I build myself. I don't know how I got to the point in life that I'm in a group text with Network Chuck, but here we are. Am I above or below the you're fucked line they drew through Texas for the weather? I'm right on the edge of it. Austin's right on the edge of the you're fucked line. We got doused in ice. The only whatever ice, like you just hunker down for a day or two because the roads suck and whatever. I was just like took an Amazon box and pushed my daughter down the driveway so she could go sledding in Texas because it was slippery as hell. You just kind of hunker down for a day or two. I don't understand. People went like apocalypse prepping at the grocery stores. I kind of get it. We have a bit of trauma here from a few years ago. This happened, but the weather stayed below freezing for so long that the power grid like failed at some point, right? I mean, we have a crappy power grid here, but I just saw some charts come up today that something like it was like 20% or something like that of our power over the past couple of weeks has been provided by batteries, which are all new since the last, probably not all, but like huge influx of new battery stuff has come in since the massive power outage. So hopefully a lot of the investment that's been going into it, I think it was like wind and batteries covered like a ton. Yeah. Did you see my meme I posted on that? I went and grabbed a screenshot of the NORAD Santa tracker. I posted it and said, NORAD tracking Ted Cruz to see how bad this storm is actually going to be. All right. What else am I missing on this story? Cover that. I'll cover that. This was nasty, dude. That part 2. Holy crap. All right. We'll cover Claude Hub. What else do we want to cover? All right. I'll probably record the local one soon, so I'll ignore chat for a few minutes while I'm recording locally. If this is your first time in my live, I've been doing it on and off for a bit now. but I am committing to doing this at least twice a week. Nowadays, as long as I'm not traveling, I'm going to be doing this twice a week with my new studio setup. And this is where I'm going to record my YouTube videos. I'm just going to hit the record button while I'm live with you guys. Then my editor is going to take that, make a video. If you go look at the most recent video on my YouTube channel, whoever was in here last week got to watch me record that live. So that's exactly how I ran that one. And it seemed to work pretty well. And I think I recorded 3 locally while live last week. And so my editor is cutting up the second one right now. So that's going to be my new mode of operation. Kind of time box it. Love it as I end my day in the UK. Oh, what's up? Appreciate the lives. I don't have enough people in my security circle and feeds. It's all AI, not enough security. Yeah. Unfortunately, I do wind up talking about AI a lot just because, like, we fucking have to. It's like all anyone's doing or using right now. So if you're going to secure any of this, like, I mean, Lee in chat, Lee's an operator. I've known Lee for a long time. He's one of the, stronger practitioners in my circle. And he's like, I'm trying to build all this stuff to like get a control on AI and MCP stuff that's going on my network. And he's like learning about Claudebot now. And he's like, looks like I've got some stuff to do. And so unfortunately, even though I'm not like the AI YouTube hustler being like, make $10,000 a month with this one SEO hack by getting your agents to work for you. Here's a Mac Mini. And even though I'm not that guy, I still got to talk about AI a whole lot because, if we're going to secure it, that's what it's going to have to be. I hate that my YouTube feed, like I wish I could like figure out how to like kick my YouTube algorithm. Like my YouTube home feed is filled with a lot of the aforementioned garbage. Like I'm interested in learning about Claude Code and watching videos about this kind of stuff, but not in the like how to get Claude Code to make you $1 million kind of way. So it's like, you got to kind of dig through some of those accounts. It's unfortunate because some of those accounts even are like have good stuff to like pay attention to, right? There's this guy, Greg Eisenberg, and just like everything about his like vibe on his content is like red flags for me. If you guys know Greg, right? He's all about like the Startup Ideas podcast and he's got this idea browser thing or whatever. And it's all like, I'm just going to pump out ideas that can make you rich. And it's like very, I don't know. It just red flags all around. But he has some of the best Claude Code people that I know come on his podcast and come on his YouTube. He's got a guy that's like making mobile apps, and I learned a lot from that interview. And so it's like, man, I wish, And so of course you watch that, and then your algorithm feeds you more of that kind of crap. You're like, man, that sucks. Blade HQ does the same thing, recording video in the middle of their lives. Yeah, for me, I did see some other people do it. I think Primogen used to do it. I think Theo does it. I've seen other people do it. And not that I was like, oh, like, look, other people do it. Like, let's do that. Man, this Claude Hub website is just like flickering in the background. This website is it's coded so weird and it's getting hammered. But yeah, not like, oh, I saw other people do it. It's for me, it's like a way to time box. Like, okay, I just know my Tuesdays and Thursday mornings are going to just be dedicated to camera time. And like YouTube is really hard to do consistently at like a high quality. And so for me, it was like, okay, I can time box my time on camera to like a couple hours Tuesday, a couple hours Thursday. And then like videos fall out for the next couple of days. Like, that's great, right? I didn't have an editor until now either. So like, this is all a big investment for me, right? The new equipment, the editor. If you see Bill Brenner in chat, he's like he's hanging out in chat because he's like taking some of this stuff and like helping me write some of this stuff for the news website I run and the newsletter I run. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. You build a personal website, gives you curated email based on my choice accounts, but it filters out the post based on tags. Yeah. My buddy, if you guys don't know Pedro Mamini, he's not really a content creator and he's kind of a silent killer in this area. But he's like crazy workflow optimized and he's been building a lot of AI automations before Like before this boom even happened, he was like really on top of a lot of it. And it's almost like for me, I literally look at the amount of time he spends optimizing is actually suboptimal. I'm like, man, like you work so hard on like your workflow. you ate up a lot of time doing it, but I think he just likes it. But one of the things that he does have is kind of what you're talking about. He's got this like crazy automated way of creating the feeds of things that he actually consumes. I think part of it's open source, so I can probably find it. Yeah, look at that. I found it in one search. Here, I'll pull it up. I'll show you guys. This is Pedram. Pedram founded ZDI back in the day. And then he founded Inquest, which just got bought by OpSWAT. He's kind of like a network security guy. But he's a big Obsidian nerd. So he's got this RSS Obsidian, and it's you can like add a bunch of RSS feeds into Obsidian, but then you can do all sorts of like search and automation on the actual feed to like, then he's got it hacked in such a way that it just gives him, you know, exactly what he wants that day with like quick summaries, even videos and podcasts, which was like the crazy thing for me, right? It's like, oh, he's getting summaries of podcasts before killing like an hour of his time. It's pretty awesome. All right. I think I've got all the CloudBot stuff that I want to cover for this video. So we can get to recording. Let's see what order I want to do it in. Probably this guy, Jameson. Yeah, probably this Jameson thing. Well, I should probably explain what CloudBot is at the top of the video, huh? Probably would make sense for the YouTube crowd who might not be permanently online like the rest of us. All right. You guys ready? We're going to do the dang thing. Boop, boop. It's so weird. So I set it up. This is like way more detailed than you guys need to know, but I set it up in such a way that I'm recording locally based on like OBS source so that my editor gets like the high quality camera feed and the mic and my screen kind of as, you know, files that they can do with what they want instead of like the YouTube output. But for some reason in the files that I got, it did still grab the chat overlay. So I might just need to manually hide chat for a minute. Sorry, bye chat. Or whatever. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna hide you as we do it. It shouldn't have grabbed it because I'm just recording locally the source, but it did. I don't know. I got to troubleshoot that, but we'll figure it out. All right, we're gonna rock. Do you guys like this style? I mean, you're here, so you're hanging out, but this style of YouTube video that I do, very conversational. I'm putting a bet on that people will continue to enjoy that style of content over produced stuff. But we'll see. All right, recording. Everyone say hi to, well, I hid chat, but everyone say hi to my editor. All right. I hit my little fancy button. Oh no, I got my encoding error. I didn't get that last time. Hold on. That stinks. So I didn't get that last week when we did this, I didn't get that. All right. I hit my little fancy button. Oh no, I got my... Weird, I got an OBS error. Sorry, as I tinker with this. Let me get rid of... The only thing that I changed was I was multi-streaming at some point in between now and then to like vertical stuff. Let me get rid of all that. I wonder if I can like disable that plugin. I downloaded a plugin so that I could go live on the mobile apps at the same time too. It went poorly. It was very like laggy. That's the only thing that I can think of that changed. Sorry, super professional streamer here, everybody. Let me see if I can like disable that plugin really quick. Output, advanced. No, probably not. All right, let's close that. Let's see if all that helps. I like closed it all, so we'll see if that works. All right. We're recording, and I have not... Oh, I did get the encoding error. So it says encoding overloaded, considering turning down video settings and using faster encoding preset. We hit this a little bit when we were testing, but it didn't... But we thought we fixed it. Do I just rock? Let me check. Yo, OBS this is like, it takes a master's degree in this stuff, man. I had my editor come and like help me figure all this out. So we have a streaming encoder, then a recording encoder, VTech hardware encoder. Yeah. And then on this one, filters, source record. Shouldn't have changed anything. Yeah, different encoder. So you like have to like split up all the encoders and stuff. Super weird and strange. All right. We're going to rock and then hope that that encoding overloaded thing sorts itself out. It's a pain. Let me just DM him. All right. Hopefully it's all usable. And I don't have to re-record this, but it is what it is if I do. Sorry, guys. Life of a DIYer here. All right, we've got one of the most viral AI projects that I've seen in the last couple of years, right? This is basically the same level as like when Claude All right, we've got one of the most viral AI projects that I've seen in a few years. This is like when Claude Code came out. Everyone is losing their mind about Claudebot. Now, actually, it's called Moltbot. I guess they ran into some copyright or trademark claims or whatever the hell it is. But it is an incredibly privileged AI agent tool that people are just giving over to their machines. So much so that people are like making a run like Black Friday on Mac Minis because this thing was really built to run on Macs. And so people are buying dedicated machines just to stick this AI agent on. So Moltbot or Multi, everyone was calling it Claudebot for the last couple of days. You give it a machine, it's got more access than normal AI agents. This is why everyone has been kind of running to it because it gets a lot more privileges, which gives it a lot more capabilities, which makes the security people very nervous. And I was right. Well, I guess that answered that. What happened for you guys? For me, OBS crashed. I don't know what you guys saw, but I had to, I just had to reopen OBS and restart the stream. I don't know if you guys had to like quit and rejoin the stream. It automatically showed a bunch of you still in here. So I guess my recording while streaming thing broke. Oh, I see it. All your chats are coming up now. Created latency. Just kind of broke. All right. Well, sorry about that. It just froze. Did you guys have to like quit and rejoin? Back to normal now. For me, it's not, strangely enough. Restream. So I see chat on my screen, but I don't see chat in my normal little chat window. I don't know what's going on. You didn't have to quit and rejoin. It just froze. Interesting. No supported channels enabled. You refreshed the page because I froze. So also, man, that stinks. Well, all right, we'll live stream for a little bit more. And I might have to end stream a little bit earlier so I can actually record the video since I can't record it while live because that just threw up. What the heck happened? You know what? I think it's this plugin. How do I uninstall an OBS plugin? So everything is super broke. Restream even isn't. So I see you guys chat on my screen, but Restream is not showing chat in my normal thing. And it's like, no supported channels enabled. Please visit your dashboard. It's like, obviously I'm live. I do have channels enabled. You guys are here. Man, brutal. It sucks not knowing what you're doing with this stuff. OBS is a mystery to me. Sorry, guys. This is not what stream is meant to be all about. I'm guessing it's this plugin. I'm going to have to troubleshoot offline. Well, it's hard to troubleshoot offline because that's like what's causing it to throw up. Is like I'm trying to record while live, I think. That's a bummer, man. It worked last week, no problem. The only difference is this plugin. And it doesn't make it obvious on how to uninstall an OBS plugin. Take it out in blue on the cartridge. Yeah. Yep. Tried that for sure. All right. Man, that stinks. Source record plugin, vertical canvas plugin. Was that the one? Stream deck plugin, vertical canvas plugin must be it. All right, so what if I move to trash? Yeah, this probably isn't going to work either. A whole new episode. Matt fixes OBS. Oh yeah, OBS can be iffy. Some streamers who tested stream settings on another device, like tablet, to watch their user experience. Yeah. So I did have someone give me the tip to like have a dedicated machine running live stream and then having like another machine doing other machine things. I'm starting to understand why that recommendation came across. This stinks. This stinks. All right, we're gonna just run a test. We're gonna just start recording locally. I uninstalled that plugin. Nope. Stopping recording. I got the error. Encoding overloaded. So you guys were about to lose me again if I did that. Whatever. All right, guys. We're just gonna not record a freaking video. What else do we want to talk about? This other bit. This other one, I haven't read too much about this, but we've got this actively exploited Office 0 day that is just a bunch of words that scare me, right? Emergency out of band security update for a high severity Office 0 day. What is the vuln? Security feature bypass. Doesn't sound like a crit to me. But what is it? What is a security feature? Oh, this is unreadable. Let's go back to bleeping. Office 2016, 2019, 2024, and Microsoft 365 apps for enterprise. Security updates for 16 and 19 are not available. While the preview pane is not an attack vector, that's good, unauthenticated local attackers can still successfully exploit the vulnerability through low complexity attacks. Reliance on untrusted inputs in a security decision in Microsoft Office allowed an unauthorized attacker to bypass a security feature locally. An attacker must send a user a malicious Office file and convince them to open it. Okay. This update addresses vulnerability that bypasses OLE mitigations. All right. Customers to Office 2020 and later will be automatically protected. What's the what is it though? What does this allow them to do? Not a lot of information. I mean, okay, it's a bypass. But actively exploited 0 day. The other actively exploited 0 day patch this month is an information disclosure flaw in the desktop window manager. Important severity. Let attackers read memory addresses associated with. All right, I don't know. This doesn't seem like 5-alarm fire to me, but it's obviously kind of spicy and bad. So we'll keep an eye on that one. What up, low level? Yeah, no worries, man. This is the Matt can't figure out OBS stream anyway today, but thanks for hanging out. Maybe when you call me, you can help me because something that worked last week doesn't work today. So long story short, I'm live streaming and I was recording at the same time. I was trying to record locally at the same time. And I'm using this source record plugin to give, camera file, screen file, and then just like the OBS file. and it's just crashing OBS, like due to some encoding overload or something like that. I don't know. Really bummed about it. Really bummed about it. Took me like probably a full-time day working with my editor to get OBS set up that this was working, and it worked last week, and now it does not work. And super annoying. Your OBS has been exploding recently too. May not be a me problem. Cool. Well, great. Literally worked last week. The only thing I could think of, but I just uninstalled it, was I did add another plugin to stream to TikTok and Instagram at the same time too, and that was just a disaster. It was like super laggy and stuff, so I just gave up on that. But maybe that plugin might have done something, but I just uninstalled it and I'm still getting the bug, but I don't know. Figure it out later. Here's another one. Shiny hunters are back. They're claiming the hack of Okta Microsoft SSO accounts. I don't know. So this is a news story from this week. I don't know what to call these groups anymore, right? Shiny hunters was a name of a group for a while, and now it's like they were calling themselves something else. They were calling themselves like Shiny Lapsus, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I don't know which group or like subset of this group we're actually talking about at this point. That's just like how much tracking threat actors sucks. But generally when they claim hacks, there's some bit of truth there, if not all of it is true. They definitely get exaggerated sometimes, but ongoing voice phishing attacks targeting single sign-on accounts. Yeah. If these attacks, threat actors impersonate IT support and call employees, tricking them into entering their creds. This is like the attack of the year, guys. So if you don't have a solve for exactly the attack going on in this article, like public enemy number one, don't do anything. I don't care about all this AI security nonsense until you figure out this. What is your playbook for SMS and voice phishing attacks to your IT support department or other employees, and getting them to hack SSO? Even if you have MFA, everyone that's gotten hacked via this has MFA, it doesn't matter. And then SSO gives them everything, okay? This is the hack, right? I've led incident response against Scattered Spider. This is how they did it, and that was 2 years ago, and they're still doing it, and it's still how the vast majority of the big headline hacks that you've seen over the last at least 18 months, this is how they're doing it. What is this article about? They actually hacked Okta, though. SSO services from enable these SSO dashboards. First reported. They didn't they haven't hacked Okta. They like use Okta, right? Threat actors have been carrying out these attacks by calling employees posing as IT staff. After gaining access to the victim's SSO, that's not hacking Okta. Bleeping Computers, aware of multiple companies targeted in these attacks, contacted Okta earlier this week about the breaches, but the company declined to comment because it's not an Okta thing. There's a phishing kit. According to Okta, the phishing kit includes web-based control panels that allow attackers to dynamically change what the victim sees. Yeah, it's Evil Engine X is one of the main things. Shiny Hunters declined to comment on the attacks last night. The group confirmed who were the victims. We confirm we're behind the attacks. We are unable to share further details. Claimed it's targeting not only Okta, but Microsoft Entra and Google SSO platforms. Am I dumb? Like, you're targeting customers of these SSO platforms, right? Microsoft said it has nothing to share at this time. Google said it has evidence that products are being abused in the campaign. We have no indication that Google itself or its products are affected by the campaign. Exactly. This isn't new. I'm so confused by this article. SSO dashboards. Guys, what am I reading wrong? I don't know. I don't know that one. I don't know on that one. That one's weird. Like, worth talking about, but like, doesn't seem like the attack is actually going on. Another one. I mean, Bleeping's got a bunch of good stuff today. Sandworm is a group of hackers that, when they're talked about, we should be paying attention for sure. Cyber attack targeting Poland's power grid in December has been linked to the Russian state-sponsored group Sandworm. Yeah, these are generally pretty nasty attacks that are worth paying attention to. Yeah, generally, currently, their capabilities are very targeted at the kinetic war that they are in, but their attack craft, their trade craft, is worth studying, right? Because this is the kind of stuff that we're going to see also. Polish officials said the attack targeted 2 combined heat and power plants as well as management systems that used control electricity generated from renewable sources such as wind turbines and solar farms. Everything indicates that these attacks were prepared by groups directly linked to the Russian servers. And it was a wiper. So this is just straight destructive wiper malware at critical infrastructure. All right, we don't have a lot of details about the actual attack. That's what I was hoping we would get here. Because we knew that they do this kind of stuff, but I was hoping for details of the actual attack. Map about to crash out. Yeah, map about to crash out is like the story of my life. Missed most of the live. HPE. Yeah, no worries. Who we pay to figure stuff out could not figure stuff out. All right, guys. My chat isn't working. You guys are like a little tiny chat on my video. I don't actually have my normal chat. And I still have to record those videos if I'm going to actually have videos go out this week. So I might have to end the live a little early today, so I can troubleshoot this and get a video out before I got to go home. As before mentioned, the ice on the roads has closed schools once again. So I do have some dad obligations today that otherwise I would not have. So kind of a perfect storm of issues between OBS and the weather, but appreciate you guys hanging out for the couple hours I was live. I will be alive again Thursday morning. Then I am traveling next week, so I'll figure out what my live schedule is next week and